Hi, my name's Julie Holshare and I'm from Wiring Kids. I'll be discussing tips for sleep for toddlers and preschool today. I will weave the science behind sleep and nutrition into the presentation. Just look at this photo for a second. Toby is reading the night story to his sister Isabel. This is their family tradition. Every family's sleep traditions, rituals are unique in what we do. So what to expect? Between 15 and 18 months, a toddler transitions from 2 sleeps a day to 1 sleep. This may be challenging for mums and dads as they don't know until the morning if their child is going to need 1 sleep or 2 sleeps. Sometime after your child reaches 2, your child may try and break out of having a day nap altogether. However, a toddler or a preschooler still needs to have downtime during the day, so encourage your child to rest in their rooms for an hour after lunch or lie on the couch with no TV on, but may have a toy to get some more energy up and to rest. So when secure attachment is present, a child will feel secure as the parents and caregivers are responsive to their needs most of the time. During the toddler years, children may still have separation awareness and be clingy at times. This phase may only last a few days or weeks. If it lasts longer, talk to your child health nurse and get some strategies. Research tells us a lot of children in the toddler and beyond years may protest about going to bed, but we know our children have about 12 hours sleep a night, regardless. Frightening dreams start to occur at about 2 and peak between 3 and 6. We know children's imagination increases during this time, so the dreams are very vivid. So look at what your child is reading books-wise, because the book may be totally suitable for their age group, but they may be 1 in 100 children that finds the book stressful, or they worry about it, or find out what's happened at Early Learning Centre during the day, because that may cause the vivid dreams, or they may have seen something on TV. So think about why your child is having more dreams. Also, are they too hot? Have you got them layer dressed with too many clothes on? Think about there's some of the reasons why we have these vivid dreams. So sleeping context, this gorgeous little boy Harry is got an amazing imagination. He's obviously camping with a tent in the lounge room, and he's obviously cooking, having a barbecue or something like that right now. So health-wise, is your child well? Have they got a cold? Have they got an upper respiratory tract infection? Have they got allergies or any other medical conditions that may interfere with their sleep? We can't start changes while a child is unwell. Children will be getting their 18-month teeth, and their 2-year-old molars will be coming through during this period of time. They normally are only an issue for a couple of days each. After that, if your children are still waking, it then can become a habit. Hereditary. Ask your mother or your partner's mother what type of sleepers you both were, as research shows that some insomnias are hereditary. We also know that some children may be snorers due to their large tonsils and adenoids. This issue can be familiar and could affect your children's sleep. So consult your doctor if you're concerned that this is the reason your child is having broken sleep. Temperament. Temperament is how a child reacts to situations and stimuli. This includes their moods, their ability to calm themselves, as well as how active they may be. What type of temperament does your child have? Are they laid back? Are they children that need a lot more work to get them to sleep? Ages and stages. Developmentally, your child's brain is undergoing significant developmental changes in the second and third year of life. Children start to protest about sleep, particularly at night at around 18 months, but that will change over time. We know toddlers need at least 1 hour a day of outdoor play, and preschoolers need 2 hours of physical activity outdoors. This is to blow off steam, and then they become tired. We know the outdoor play boosts our endorphins, that's our happy molecules, and also increases our dopamine and serotonin. And this all helps our children sleep better. This is Toby again. He's learning to ride a bike. He's learning to use those big leg muscles. So children are learning through their senses. What is your child hearing about sleep from you? Does your voice sound like it's party time? Or do we sound scary? Or does our voice mean it is bedtime? How does that voice sound? It needs to be boring and straight to the point. It is bedtime now. Mummy loves you. Good night. This is what a child needs to hear from their parents. What is your child seeing? Is he seeing you looking anxious? As we know, 3-year-olds can read every emotion on their parents' face. Do you look confident about your child going to sleep? Because that's what he needs to see. What is your child feeling about sleep? Is he overwhelmed due to tiredness? Has he had a rough day? And does he just need time with his parents for a cuddle before bed and really winding him down? What have you taught your child about sleep? Has he been taught that he can't go to bed unless you're in bed with him? Has he been taught that if he whinges, you will come straight in and get him and bring him out again? So we have to think about, are these sustainable, what we are currently doing with our child? Because our child is learning from us about sleep. Your child's world, the sleep environment. Is your child's room too busy? Is it too noisy? Is it too light? Is it too cold? All of these can impact on our child's sleeping. Milestones. We know that children's sleep cycles have matured by the time they get to their second year of life. So they are 45 minutes to 60 minutes. But we also know that children are fighting for independence during the toddler and preschool ages, and their favourite word is no. Some parents think their child should move to a bed during this age. I think that we should leave our children in their cots for as long as possible, because at least we will keep them in bed. Unless they are climbing out, then you have no other alternative but to move them into a bed. We also know that toddlers don't eat a lot in the second year of life. They're having a massive brain growth instead. And we know that they are practicing the skills that they are currently learning continuously, even in their sleep. Nutrition. The second year of life, food becomes the most important nutrition for your child. And we know that they only require 600 mils of milk a day or dairy. And we also know that children get very tired in the evening and they often refuse to eat. So if that's your child, try offering them the meat and veggies, which needs more chewing, in the morning for breakfast and the mushy food for dinner at night. Sleep associations, are they sustainable? Is what we're doing sustainable for life, or do we need to make changes to our sleep associations to get our child to sleep? I've talked about separation awareness, language, that just increases massively in the second year of life, as second and third year of life, and we start to need to use open-ended questions with our children. The carers, children learn what each carer does, the different rituals and routine. Grandma does something different from early learning centre, and then they do something, dad does something different, and mum does something different. Children are learning from their parents that we are all different. Tired signs. What is your child's tired signs? Children are all individuals, but when they become overtired, it is more challenging to calm them down and to get to sleep. Children in the second year of life, later in the second year of life, start to have tantrums and get very frustrated with things. They also, when they are tired, they don't want to eat. They just whinge. That's perfectly normal. So the types of sleep, there are two types of sleep. One is the rapid eye movement, which we call the REM sleep, where toddlers practice what they are learning during the daytime in this sleep. And so they do repetition, repetition, repetition. So if they are learning to walk at 12 months, they will be walking. If they are learning to make animal sounds, they will be making animal sounds around 18 months of age, like it might be a kookaburra, that type of noise. And at about 3 to 3.5, they are practicing negotiation skills. So you will hear in the middle of the night, no, I'm not doing that. You think, who's in the house? But it is just your child practicing. The non-REM sleep is the very deep sleep. This is when the body repairs itself, regrows tissue, builds muscles and bones, and it is more difficult to wake your child in this very deep sleep. We do know this deeper sleep for children, and for us too, is before midnight. So the earlier you get your child to bed, the better. So we have longer time in the non-REM sleep before midnight than we do at any other time during the night. Toddler sleep patterns. We know that children best sleep is before midnight, which I've actually said. So we need to think about getting our children to sleep earlier rather than later. So, and I know that can be a challenge if they're at early learning centre and you're at work, and picking them up and having some downtime, but making sure you've got a ritual and a routine is really important for helping your child manage that. We also know that we need, when we're putting our children to bed, is to layer dress them, put them in a sleeping bag, as they won't be able to keep any bedclothes on until they're about 4. So we need to make sure we are layer dressing our toddler to keep them warm. And we do know that toddlers don't sleep very well if they don't have any food in their stomach. So it is important that we try to give them food before they go to sleep. We know at night that the stomach doesn't move very much. It's like our stomach, the peristaltic movement hardly occurs. So that's why we don't get hungry in the middle of the night. So what we need to be looking at is consolidating our child's sleep cycles and teaching them to go back to sleep, such as we have 45 to 60 minutes, a mature sleep cycle is for a child, and we've got to try to link those sleep cycles. So we go 60 minutes, link it to another sleep cycle of 45 minutes, link it to another sleep cycle of 60 minutes. And your parents taught you to go put yourself back to sleep in the middle of the night. You need to teach your child to be able to do that as so. Questions to consider. Are you ready to make change? That is the most important thing. Are you ready to make change? And what is your plan? So some strategies that we have out there are making small realistic changes are more achievable for most of us than big changes. What do I mean by that? If your child is having difficulty going to sleep, we deal with that first. Once we've achieved that, we move to the first awakening of the night and we work hard to get our children to go back to sleep. We may borrow a book from the library so that we're starting to teach our children to go to sleep. There are lots of sleep books out there for children that you can read. They're children's books, not adult books of how you do it, but it tells the story of going to sleep. If you've got a preschooler that is temperament-wise finds going to sleep harder, you may use an app to calm down before we actually go to sleep. We also know that rituals and routines are so important in a child's life, and change takes time. So if we are breastfeeding or bottle feeding, we need to breastfeed in another room other than the bedroom before bed, and if we're bottle feeding or giving a baby, a toddler, a drink in a cup, we need to do this, then clean the teeth. As we know that the milk plaque remains on the teeth and causes decay. So parenting as a team. I love this photo. How did this happen? This is what Steph's saying about Harry. How did it happen in there? You don't have to be on the same page as your partner, but you need to have the same parenting goals. Your child already knows what both parents do. However, to discuss your plan with the other carers, grandparents, early learning centres, is really important when you're making changes. And I suggest that you most probably think about making the change if you have the weekend off, starting on a Thursday night. Move through to Monday night, then just hold everything until next Thursday and then slowly move through, pushing a little bit each week to achieve the final goals. So today we've covered a lot on sleep. I just want to say enjoy the ride. There's no right and wrong way of doing sleep, but remember to be persistent and consistent. You will have setbacks as your child gets sick or you go on a holiday or a major change happens, but just implement the changes again and you will achieve. Enjoy your baby and your child.